Today we're going to be experimenting on one of the most famous keto recipes of all time, and that is fathead dough. Fathead dough can be used in a wide variety of different applications on keto. If you're not familiar with fathead dough, you should be, because it's extremely versatile. We've used it to make keto-friendly Pop-Tarts, corn dogs, and we also did a video of the 5 best ways to use fathead dough, so we will link that one after this video. But a couple months ago, Sarah and I tried Heavenly Fan's chip recipe, and we liked it, kind of. But it wasn't until we added a new technique to that recipe that we really thought it gave us a super thin, crispy chip. And so we thought, why not try that technique today with fathead dough? There are a bunch of different variations for fathead dough that you can find out on the internet. The one that we really like is by Annie over at Keto Focus. We're going to be leaving it linked in the description below. We're actually going to be having the recipe because we don't need to make an entire pizza worth of chips, because the recipe actually is for a fathead dough pizza. And what you're going to need for this recipe is pretty simple. Shredded mozzarella, almond flour, xanthan gum, salt, egg. That's it. The first step is going to be putting your cheese in the microwave for 60 seconds. In the last chip video, we used a little bit of this mashed potato extract by OOO Flavors, and I don't even know if we really felt like it was a prominent flavor in that dish, because I think we were scared because it smells even right now. So I think we only used like 10 or 15 drops. We might try to put some more into this, right?
If you want to.
I can smell it even right now. It's like a strange type of smell to me. If you're going to be adding something like this though, you should probably be adding it to the liquid in the recipe. So we do have the egg, and I think I'm going to add that in there and whisk it really well so that the flavor is infused with the liquid that we're adding to this recipe. I don't know how much to add. I think 1/4 of a teaspoon maybe.
Smells more like butter.
Yeah, it does. Gonna whisk it. Next up, we're going to add in, maybe I'll put the almond flour first. Next up, the cheese. Smells cheesy. Okay, not a lot of movement. Get in there. All right, some xanthan gum and salt, baking powder. Should I put the egg in now or after?
I think after a few pulses, right? Otherwise, what?
I don't know. Okay. Okay.
I don't remember that machine being that loud.
It's like, I don't know. It smells
It was
stinky.
your
I know.
measurement.
I feel like it's going to taste better once we start.
It smells buttery, right?
Yeah, it smells buttery, but it's like, I know that there's no butter in there, so maybe that's why. I don't know if I like a lot of
artificial smells.
No, just smells in general. I'm smell sensitive. We're gonna dump this onto a piece of parchment paper, and I am going to kind of combine it, and then we are going to roll it into a log and put that log in the freezer, because we're gonna wanna slice it really thin. I'm just gonna like roll it until it's one piece, and then I just want everything to be like flat and combined. I'm gonna fold it all together. I just want all the ingredients to be, it seems really
incorporated.
Yeah, so like this. I'm going to just roll it. We're gonna put this in the freezer for like 20 minutes. I want it to be easy to slice through. And then we're gonna be using a technique that we used like a couple months ago to make super, super fine Heavenly Fan chips, which is using this. So the technique that we kind of came across was actually on accident when we tried Heavenly Fan's chip recipe a couple months ago. I was going to give up and drive away from this house screaming because we couldn't cut the chips thin enough. And I think Sarah took out her handy dandy rolling majiggy and she started to roll it out to see how thin she could get them. And when she fried that chip up, it turned out really well. It was Eureka moment, right? It was like, ow. So that is the technique that we're going to be using today. I'm going to take the roll of fathead dough out of the freezer. I am going to start cutting them as thin as I possibly can. And then I'm going to take those slices and I'm going to roll them between 2 pieces of parchment paper because I want to get them super thin. There are a lot of you guys that are like, can you use a tortilla press? Honestly, I don't think it's thin enough. As using like the force of rolling it out, almost so that you can see through it. We're gonna heat up this oil to like a medium heat, and that's what we're gonna do to test out to see if this fathead dough recipe with the potato extract can make a really good chip. Okay, so it's very hard. I think we're gonna have some excess here. I mean, I'm gonna try to go really thin.
Like a fourth of an inch?
No, eighth of an inch? I don't know.
Okay, let's try that many for now. Put it in the freezer for safekeeping. Try that many first.
Spread them out a decent amount.
Slowly. You tend to rip it fast, and
Maybe you're right about the freezer. If we put it in, it might come off easier.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for the oil to warm up, we're gonna put these in the freezer because I'm having a hard time kind of peeling them off. Oh, all right, well, it's all an experiment.
All right, I think that's a good temp. 340?
Yeah, here we go. Whoa, holy moly, that's fast.
Why don't we wait till we see? Ooh, it's really browning fast. We might want to turn down the heat. Very hot.
Too hot.
Too hot. Oh well, okay. It usually doesn't get crispy until the oil is draining from it, so. You want to try it? Or are we waiting until?
We're waiting.
Okay.
We'll just wait for a second. I think it needs to
Cook longer?
cook longer and slower.
Yeah. Sounds crunchy.
All right, so we have 100 more chips to make. We're gonna salt these very lightly, drain them on paper towel for sure. We're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna try it. I feel like they came out good. They're very golden, which I don't think you see that often in normal potato chips. I know that's gonna be a complaint. It's not the same color. There are places on the East Coast that like their chips like this color, and they taste almost burnt, but that's what they like. So yeah, I've had those before. Let me get some close-up, of the very important B-roll. And Emily just wants to eat it already because she's hungry, I'm sure. We gotta think about the viewer first. I'm KBHD B-roll. He's got like a $300,000 mechanical robot that comes in like... You're the robot, go ahead. Yeah. I'm not really smelling the mashed potato extract. The olive oil is the overwhelming kind
Maybe
of
we should have used
here.
avocado, but okay.
Very crispy. The salt adds something. The pepper. We could have added something garlicky maybe into the actual dough, but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of funnel cake. Okay. Well, that's my interpretation. What's yours? It reminds me of a wonton wrapper. What do you think? Like the crispiness of it? Yeah. Like you would use for crab rangoon or whatever. I don't think it would hold up to do that though. Right, but you get that same vibe, you could get like a dip, like a, yeah, no, I do. I don't know if I could tell that this was cheese, you know, if you just gave this to me. It's really good. Crispy. Like, it kind of like crumbles. This could go sweet or savory. A little cinnamon. A little cinnamon sugar mix. Yeah. In our local grocery store, they sell a tiramisu platter. Like, what? It's chips. No. Can I get to my point? Can I get to my point? The platter has chips on the outside, like, I don't know what kind of chips they are, but they're little wedges. And then in the middle is like a tiramisu dip. I feel like this is too savory. For that, really? Yeah. Like, this one is very, very, very thin. I mean, it's crispy. It's a chip. The thicker ones are not bad either. The ones that have like almost like a white interior. But they're still thinner than the ones you would just cut. Yeah. You're not gonna be able to cut them thin like this. You have to kind of roll them out. Would you choose these or Heavenly Fans original recipe? I hate when people ask me that. It's really difficult. I can give my answer. My answer is I like the taste of the Heavenly Fan one better. But really? Heavenly Fans one has a coconut undertaste. Undertaste? You know what I mean? So we were always thinking, like, what if we could get, like, the coconut that doesn't really taste like anything from Walmart, like some people suggested? So we might have to try that next. This is a good alternative. There is obviously no coconut undertaste. Undertaste, is that a word? Aftertaste. If you're not a fan of coconut, try this version. Right. I think you could make fathead dough and then keep it in the freezer. Don't add the mashed potato flavoring in there, though. Yeah. You almost have to put so much in it that you're 100% sure that that's what it tastes like. Right. I feel like if you would have put more, like half a teaspoon or something of it in there, it would be too strong, and then you would taste that kind of artificial flavor. Maybe it's just hiding in there, and I can kind of taste it, but it's not. Like a nose. You know, I just also want to say something. I don't have like a sommelier palate Okay? I'm not.
Same.
I mean, my husband will be like, try this beer. I'm like, it tastes like Heineken. And it'll be like a $30 beer. And I'll just be like, I have no idea.
Our palates are not refined.
Right.
Honestly, for me too.
I'm a simple person.
Same.
But that's what makes it difficult when you have a food channel.
People want decisive
tasting. They want you to like list all the tips you ever made and rank them. I don't remember. If I like it, I'm eating it, and I don't really think about it other than that.
You know, like my husband, he can like really describe flavors, and I just sit there and I like listen to him talk when he's eating things, because I'm very like, sometimes when I eat, I don't talk at all. Before, he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know, I just put it in my mouth and I ate it.
I see, that's what I mean. I'm missing taste buds, and I have extra nose brain cells.
Would you recommend that people buy the mashed potato flavoring?
I think it's a cool concept.
We just haven't used it in a way that really makes it shine.
Right.
Because I was going to say, if you do have that flavoring, I've heard the best way to use it is within like cauliflower mash. So maybe we need to try that to see. So this is just one cool way that you can use fathead dough on keto. If you guys want to see other ways, you can click on the video on the screen. We made a whole video about it, and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.
Ow.